introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Green, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Green. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20.
I'm going back to you. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
Jackson from the shotgun. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On second down, this is Cannon. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened.
Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And he'll need to put that interception out of his mind quickly because between the field goal and the pick-6, they're already looking up at a 2-score differential.
And isn't it interesting that a lot of the time when we talk about having a short memory, we say that's a defensive back, right? Got beat for a touchdown pass, throw it out. Quarterbacks have to do the same thing. They make a mistake, come back and be the best quarterback you were before.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Obi Melifonwu with the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. A good pick up there of 20 yards. On first down, it's Green. Tavon Young in on the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now here's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They'll run on first down. It's Green, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. And again, it's Mahomes. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'll be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. Right. So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's get off the field.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. I'm coming. 66. Pull it. Half. That's it. He's coming. Double up. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Again, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Jackson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. After the sack on first down, Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Trenton Cannon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the grab. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 2nd down now. Frederick. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
No, check that. We want Mike 52 right here.
Here's Jackson to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Mike 52.
Jackson will throw again. And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Green once again the intended receiver. And it's second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only in the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Mahomes. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Jackson gets it to his running back, Cannon. A game there of 30 big ones. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown as the first half is winding down as the Ravens push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And now here comes Kansas City. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. So we reach half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row.
Mike Popo. Come on, D. 44.
Now Jackson on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Get that ball, D. 53 is the mic. Go. Check.
To throw is Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson, options out left. And he's got room. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he claps down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read.
Hey, you don't want to see me.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. In for the score as the Ravens push further out in front. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They complete it to Hill.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On first down, it's Green. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive is going pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 16.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
After allowing that last score, the defense knows they've got to tighten things up. Otherwise, they'll let them right back into the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 40 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Jackson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Jackson on first down. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Trenton Cannon with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly. The offensive line, right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they? Tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone. We saw evidence of that on that play.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll increase. Their lead to 28. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
He finds an opening past the 40. 1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Completes it to Hardman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On third and long. It's Mahomes. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On first down, Mahomes looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now the... attack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
And now here comes Kansas City. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now Mahomes' throw complete to his tight end, Kelsey. And he's got this down to the 35. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Mahomes now on first down. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No, I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. Team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard. Loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they...
Mahomes now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.